Hey guys, welcome back to Say More About That, where we're working together to end the stigma around mental health. Please like and subscribe. In this video, we're going to talk about collective trauma. Our world is going through a ton of traumatic events. From the COVID-19 pandemic, the economic crisis that's following the pandemic, leading up to the Black Lives Matter movements, the protests, and even the riots. All of these collective traumatic experiences are having a huge impact on everyone, and everybody deals with things differently. Man, in the last 6 months, we have had so much trauma as a nation and as a world. It has been crazy. All over social media, you see these posts about Jumanji and welcome to level number 6. And I think that's very fitting for our society today. Like, it has just been, wow, I can't even believe it. As a mental health professional, I'm pretty curious to see how all of these things, one on top of the other, is really going to impact the mental health of our nation and our world. Our youth are growing up in a traumatic experience. When I say the word trauma, a lot of people tend to think that you have to have something traumatic happen to you specifically, whether it be the death of someone or a physical traumatic experience like a car accident, but that's not always the case. Trauma is anything. It can be anything that is distressing or disturbing to you as an individual. Everybody's experience of trauma is different. What is defined as a traumatic experience for every person is different. What may be disturbing and distressing for me could be very just another day for you. And just like everybody has different coping skills that work for them, everybody has different responses to trauma. Some people lash out, they get angry. Other people isolate, they go numb. My goal with this video is to help kind of educate around the fact that what we are going through is a collective traumatic experience. Everybody is experiencing it differently from their own worldview and from their own political, economic, and racial background. And so it impacts everybody very differently, but we are all going through this. And so people's coping skills are going to be different. How they respond are going to be different. My hope is to bring to you coping skills that will help you to get your feelings out, deal with these uncomfortable situations, and still have a healthy body and mind. I just posted a video you can find here on 100 coping strategies. I also posted a video on belly breathing and the take 5. So maybe I'll just post here the entire playlist for the coping strategies, and you guys can look through that and see which ones work for you, try out some new ones maybe, and kind of just explore some of that for yourself. Coping and self-care is really important. Limiting your media attention. How much time are you spending following stories? I know that as an individual and as a society, we need to have news. We need to have information. We need to educate ourselves. But how much time you spend absorbing yourself into these outlets about the pandemic, how many people are dying, repeatedly watching traumatic videos such as the George Floyd murder, really, it takes a toll on you. And so limiting your media exposure is really a self-care strategy. Another good strategy is to find something positive that you can do with the energy. I understand that everybody's been inside for a long time. We've been isolated, not been able to go out and do things. And especially with the recent murders of people of color in the nation, there's a lot of anger. And so finding a positive outlet for that energy. Focus on your love of your community and your people, your family, your friends, and not on the hate that you have for others. Try and focus on what you can control. Your thoughts, your words, your actions. How can you use those things in a positive way to help you and your loved one? I have seen a lot of stuff in the media, on social media, about the rioting and the looting. While I do not condone these things, I do understand them. Not everyone's response to trauma comes out in a positive way. My next video coming up after this is going to be about negative coping, how people get into these patterns of either self-harm or drug and alcohol use and other types of negative coping that come very easily and can be harmful. It is very important in times of trauma and afterwards to focus on managing our emotions. We have to keep our emotions in check if we want to have any kind of positive impact on the situation. Thank you so much for watching. Please know that mental health professionals all across the world are here to help. I look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of weeks.